Movies. You know, the childhood movies or the animated movies that people might enjoy, the fun, the actions, the heartwarming, and the most greatest endings everyone has ever seen. Yep, these are the movies that are a great masterpiece, fantastical, great, and movies that will never get hate. And then you get something like these. Okay, little known fact, guys, there were some movies that everybody used to love. But now, several other days, yeah, several of them get hated, like they're bad, cheap, not fun, or so predictable, or having bad percent of Rotten Tomatoes. But to me, there were several other movies that I actually liked as fans, and some movies that I like but everybody else hates. Yep, you know what happening. I'm Joseph Molly, and these are the top 10 movies that I like but everybody else hates. Number 10. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Now, this is everybody's favorite thing that everybody's excited to see. A Wreck-It Ralph sequel. Now, the first one is actually a great masterpiece of everybody else. Well, unfortunately, nobody cannot say the same thing about the sequel. Considering it was not really a successful movie, some people might call it a mixed bag. I mean, some people might like it or hate the movie. But some of my YouTubers might say that it's pretty good, but not better than the first one. While my other subscribers might say, yeah, this movie sucked. But to me, I think Wreck-It Ralph is still a good movie. Not the best. It was just a great movie. How Ralph and Vanellope went to the internet. That was actually successful. But they have a great adventure, like at the Slaughter Race, YouTube, and even Disney. Now that is actually good. But does this movie have some problems though? Well, yes though, because even though this movie is good, there's still some problems I have to say. I mean, Fix-It, Phyllis, and his girlfriend really don't have no screen time in this movie, and Ralph might seem an idiot in this movie with Vanellope though. But at least he changed his ways about letting Vanellope think of her own thing. Ralph may not be having this great sequel they ever did, but at least he could wreck the internet if he does. If it was called Ralph Wrecks the Internet, though.
Shouldn't it be Ralph Wrecks the Internet?
Yeah, since he is Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, but break the internet, it's like a thing.
Right, it's just wreck the internet kind of sounds better, doesn't it?
You're not wrong.
Number 9. Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. This is a movie that I surprisingly did not hate. If you saw my honorable mentions of my top 5 best and worst movies of 2004, I put Garfield in this honorable mention. I mean, I really did not like this movie, but it's not the movie I really despise. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a bad movie. But a little more steps, yeah, Garfield is just still a bad movie. I mean, not only because it's live action, but Garfield's character really made him a douche. But the sequel actually changed my opinion on Garfield's character. I mean, having 2 Garfields, I mean, literally 2 of the kitty Garfields, 2 Garfields, 2 cats. Actually, the Prince and the Harper movie, yeah, that. And that is actually a huge switch where Garfield and the other Garfield switched places. You know, the Prince, yeah, that's him, switched with Garfield's place, and Garfield switched with the Prince place with the castle. That made it successful. It made me change my mind at Garfield's character. And seriously, this is actually really great. I mean, it has problems though. I mean, the villain was just genetic at all. And, well, that's basically it, yeah. John is actually way better than he was in the first Garfield though. And and his girlfriends actually were great. And Odie was also great. But it only made me like this movie because of Garfield's character. At least he was actually way better than the first one. So yeah, the sequel was great, with a great writing script, great successful characters, and Garfield, at least you're not a douche.
Odie, could you beat it, please?
Well,
It's good to be
a
cute.
little. Number 8. Space Jams. Probably one of Brothers' lesser movies they ever did. Consider how this movie got 11% of Rotten Tomatoes, which is honestly really unfair. But to me, I really enjoy Space Jams. I mean, literally, it's a masterpiece to me, but it's not really my favorite movie of 1996 that actually goes to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But this movie was actually really enjoyable to watch. I mean, with Michael Jordan helping the Looney Tunes try to save them before they turn to slaves by Danny DeVito. So yeah. Yeah, this movie was really fun with the basketball stuff. And it actually helped this movie go to victory. And the story is actually really great, really successful. The characters were really funny. The Looney Tunes were very funny as ever. And what made this movie actually good is because how people actually enjoy with Michael Jordan. Well, I still really enjoy this movie, but I kind of like the second one more better than the first one. Probably my most unpopular opinion, but I don't care. It's better than the first one though, with a great story. While Space Jams is not my favorite Warner Pictures animation movie, I still enjoy the heck out of it because it's great and enjoyable and it's way better than Osmond Jones. Yeah, I watched this on Netflix and it was awful. Reason why? Because it was gross, it was disgusting, and they seriously effed up Chris Rock in this movie. I think he was better than he was better as Marty from Madagascar. Yeah, Marty is way better than Osmond Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. Very funny. Let's all laugh at the duck.
Number 7. Daddy Daycare. Man, this is the most unfair movie that could get hate. Because I really enjoy this movie. I really enjoy it. But yet again, this movie get hate. I mean, I really like it as a child though. But as a movie critic, do I still love this movie? Yes, I still enjoy it. It's actually really funny and very great. With Eddie Murphy and that other dude make a daycare so that way the kids will hang out with their own father, I think? Yeah, that's actually very successful. And seriously, Eddie Murphy in this movie, while he's not my favorite Eddie Murphy character in this movie, I think Eddie Murphy's best performance, he was in Donkey from Shrek. But he was still a good movie. He was still a great character and a great father. And the other guy, you know, that guy who always keep getting hurt, it was pretty funny though. And yeah, Daddy Daycare was pretty funny and very great, successful. And by making a daycare so that way the kids will have fun instead of not going to that boring other daycare school. Very great and creative. The story is written right at a hand. And some of the scenes they're quite funny. There's some funny scenes, some humor. It's still funny. Especially that scene with the broccoli and the carrot fight, that was really funny. While Daddy Daycare might not be the most not successful, but still a masterpiece to me. I really loved it, enjoyed it. It was really fun how I like it as a childhood, but as a movie critic, I still enjoy it even more.
Hey, big guy, how'd it go in there?
I missed.
What does that mean?
I missed.
What?
Number 6, and get ready people because this is the most unpopular opinion I ever did. Cheaper by the Dozens remake.
What the fuck?
I bet all y'all might be a little frustrated with me because I put this movie on the list. Yeah, at first, I actually thought that this movie was gonna suck because right after I saw the trailer that Cheaper by the Dozen is gonna get a sequel, I actually thought it was gonna suck. But watching it in Disney Plus for the very first time, I surprisingly enjoyed this movie. It was a kick in the pants. Yeah, this movie was actually really enjoyable and probably underrated movie of 2022, surprisingly. And sometimes this movie could be a rip-off of Cheaper by Dozen, but it's done really successfully. Even though it's not better than the original, thank God. But at least it's good. At least this movie is way better than Parental Guidance. It's trying to be a family movie, but unlike Parental Guidance, at least this movie is not trying to suck. Because Parental Guidance was a terrible family movie. This movie was actually a fun family movie where kids could watch it. I mean, yes, this movie has problems. I mean, the script is very predictable. Sometimes this movie could be a bit rushed, and it could take so long to understand some of the characters, though. But in all, Cheaper by the Dozens 2022 is just a fun family movie. Not better than the original, but I enjoyed it less than it says.
Go to your room.
But do you want to do a TikTok dance with us because we're so irresistibly adorable?
You're not even doing it right. You have to clap the back of the hands and then throw. You're embarrassing the family. Go to your room.
Oh, Lord, give me strength.